Hi, my love. This is going to be your pet reading. Sorry, I just did another reading. I'm reading from my kitchen because I'm currently moving around things in my room, so it's a mess right now. So I'm just figured I'll read here. So sorry for the change up. So for the pet reading, we're gonna read for Caleb. And Caleb is so cute, by the way. I was looking at his photo and I was just like, he's so cute. But I guess you guys are having issues with Caleb attacking another dog. Caleb didn't do this before, and so you're kind of wondering what is going on. So I think I'm gonna read with the Energy Oracle cards and perhaps the Psychic Tarot, and definitely my tarot cards. So I have two different Rider Waite cards here just in case, but we'll see what comes through. So we're gonna read for Caleb. Now I will say, when I was looking at his photo, that the first thing that was coming to mind is that there's something, I feel like there's something internal with Caleb. I'm not here to diagnose doctor-wise, but I will say I would recommend you guys making an appointment for Caleb for the vet, and just have a checkup. The other thing I feel like doing is, like, I keep feeling it has to do with his back legs or his back end. So I know this doesn't sound crazy, but go in with Caleb, touch, like, feel around. What you gotta do is like, I don't know how often you guys pet and massage and you know, pet the dog, but it's kind of like, you know, like how we do those exams for ourselves, like as women, we do our breast exams and stuff. You kind of have to do the same thing for your pets. And so with Caleb, kind of pay attention to his back end area, like his back legs, his butt area, but just kind of gently press your hands, not to a point where he'll cry automatically, but press, you know, like massage and pet and press around his back end, his thighs, his legs, the bottoms of his feet, like kind of gently squeeze them. And I feel like there could be something that is bothering him internally. I don't know if it could be something like a UTI. Pay attention to, like, when he pees. How is he peeing? Is he in a position that is normal? Does his pee look normal? Like, I know that sounds weird, but sometimes if dogs have a UTI, or if they have something internal happening, there could be blood in his urine. So pay attention to when he pees, or even also when he poops. What is his position as he's pooping? Is it normal compared to what he used to do? What do his poops look like? Are you guys pay attention to that? You know, are they really solid, or are they like mushy and diarrhea? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so pay attention to all those things, because something internal can be bugging him. And obviously when something's bugging them, they don't want any contact with another animal. And they can be very, very territorial. So pay attention to that, you know, his health wise. But as always, like, if you notice something as you're petting him and he's just like not comfortable, or if he cries when you're touching him in a certain part, that is a red flag. Go get him checked at the vet. If he doesn't cry with any kind of touch and nothing looks out of the ordinary, still make an appointment, especially because I feel like, I just think, this is me, like I take my animals to the vet once a year, just for a checkup. You know, have the vet just check him out, get his temperature, check him out, you know, feel him. They'll do the same thing. They squeeze him, they touch him, see how he's feeling, how are his poops, all of the above. Make sure he's drinking water. Is he drinking water? Is he eating normal? You know, maybe he ate something in the yard, just things like that. Because the animals can't tell you, right? They're gonna show you in a different way, which could be temperaments, and it could be the way that they act with other people. Oh, okay. So I got, so that's my little gist. I don't like to diagnose. So I don't know physically what's wrong with him, but I sense that there is something internal bugging him. And for some reason, his back end is what's making me think that. So I don't know if you've paid attention, like when the other dog, you know, is getting around him, has the other dog tried to sniff his butt? Or has the other dog tried to, you know, is the other dog trying to get near his rear end? And is that when he like lashes out? So pay attention to all those little things. Take a video if you can, because if you could take a video to actually show your vet what's going on, or if you notice something funky about his poops, or take a picture, and this way you have something to show the vet. But I do recommend just a checkup, a simple checkup with him too. Now let's get into the cards portion. As far as for Caleb, so energetically, he has the broken heart card coming up, okay? Broken heart, we have Magician and the Mirror coming up in the reversed. And we also have indecision, okay? So this is telling me, and coming from like the mind of a dog, sometimes you can't like take the cards literal. So from the mind of a dog, how soon was it, you know, like with this other dog, and then there's the puppy. I wasn't sure if the puppy is the other dog, or I kind of got a little confused. But how soon did the puppy or the other dog become introduced and enter Caleb's space? Because that's the other thing I see. With animals, you know, the main thing on our mind is like we want them to get along. But with Caleb, I kind of see like the broken heart as he may think he's being replaced, right? There could be too many animals at one time being introduced to him. And so he may feel replaced, or he may feel like puppy is getting more attention than he is, and that kind of thing. So the broken heart kind of symbolizes that as well. The indecision, he doesn't know yet how he feels about the other dog. He's not really sure, is this safe for me? Or do I really like this dog's personality or this dog's scent? Okay, so he is indecisive about how he wants to move forward with the other animal. The Magician and the Mirror in the reversed, this kind of like makes me think of like he's weighing out his options, right? To me, it looks like the Magician is kind of holding two different elements in his hands. So he's balancing out, he's weighing out his options. And again, it's in reverse, which tells me that Caleb is just a little bit misunderstood. He's not really understanding what's happening here. The dog may have a totally different scent from what Caleb is used to or comfortable with. So perhaps it's just one of those things where he's just, you know, after a while, he's like, I don't really like you, you know? But I did take note that you wrote down in your email that Caleb didn't always act that way with the dog. So because this is something that has started up after it's been some time, I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if it's the other dog plus a puppy, or if the puppy is the other dog. So maybe like when he was a puppy, you said, perhaps I should check the email. But I'm filming with my phone. So if the other dog is the same animal, and if he was a puppy and Caleb was okay with the puppy, usually it's because as puppies, we know that there's nothing there's nothing to be worried about. They're babies, right? So there's nothing to be fearful. But as they grow older, they develop into their personalities and whatnot. And so that's why I'm saying, like, perhaps Caleb just isn't meshing. He's not vibing with the dog anymore. Or he could feel like he's being replaced, especially if the other dog is getting a little bit more, you know, different treatment. So maybe you take him out more, or you feed him differently, or there's more love going to one animal versus the other. Or like I said, it could also be that combined with maybe Caleb isn't feeling good, okay? And so we have the Seven of Pentacles, we have the Queen of Pentacles, and we have the Magician coming up. So I feel like it could be a sense of Caleb is observing that the other dog is getting a little bit more love. He's being held differently or nurtured differently than he is. So I would say, you know, make sure that you guys are giving both the same type of touch, the same type of words usage to both dogs, to kind of make them both feel together, right? No separation of them. So like you say, like how they can't be in the same room together. So if like you guys are watching a movie and the other dog is in the room with you guys watching a movie, and then Caleb is locked out because he doesn't get along with the dog, that's instantly teaching him that he's being treated differently, right? And that could also lead to the broken heart. So we have the Knight of Cups, the King of Swords, and we have the Eight of Wands. So like moving forward with this, there will be, you know, positive movement forward with that Eight of Wands, but there needs to be a sense of the Knight of Cups is kind of showing compassion and love. The King of Swords is kind of saying laying down boundaries verbally, but also I feel like a simple vet check would not hurt. In fact, I feel like that would be really good for Caleb. We have Twin Flame coming up, and Twin Flame can kind of show like his love for you. Crown Chakra is coming up. Pay attention to your ideas, as they are messages of true divine guidance sent in prayer to, or sent as answers to your prayers. So Crown Chakra coming up, paying attention to your ideas. Has your intuition already suggested to you that there could be something, you know, mental health wise going on with Caleb? How old is Caleb? You know, is he fairly older than the other dog? Or maybe, you know, Caleb is, if he's older, if he's a senior dog, it could be, you know, like onset of a dementia or something with them. Animals, they get it just as much as we do. But so the Crown Chakra is telling you to pay attention to your insights, your intuition, and go based on that. You know, even if you don't think there's anything wrong with Caleb, but your intuition is telling you that there's something up, take him to the vet. Okay. And then we also have fairies. So fairy says you have a strong bond with fairies and your life purpose involves helping Mother Nature. So I don't really know how that one's going to resonate with the Caleb whole thing, but we're talking about Mother Nature. We're talking about a strong bond. So I feel like it's just kind of like reaffirming your love, your attention for Caleb, but making it balanced. And I feel like that's what he's seeing, especially with the indecision and the Magician and the Mirror card. You know, he's seeing that unbalanced feeling between him and the dog. He sees the difference in treatment. And he may see that, you know, you guys are always mad at him because he barks or he bites or he tries to attack the other dog. And so he does feel like the stepchild now, you know, where maybe he was once the favorite. So that broken heart, you know, I feel for him. I do. I feel for him because I think it's like he doesn't know how to register his feelings, and he's, you know, he's going based off of his sense, and his scent, his senses are telling him, I don't like this dog for whatever reason. And if he's not feeling good and he can't verbalize it to you guys, he's showing you in form of action. So pay close attention to that, to that for him. So let's kind of pull on his health, on an energetic look at his health, and just kind of see what's coming through. We have the Thinking Man, Door to Spirit, we have Contract. So I'm going to go ahead and go on a whim and say, is Caleb a senior dog? You know, I feel like as long as things do not progress, you know, that Door to Spirit and that Contract just kind of tell me, like, you know, he could just be senile, you know, he could just be going through the mental stuff, as being a senior dog, you know, and maybe he forgets that he once was a companion to this pet, and now he feels attacked and like he's extra sensitive. And so I feel like with the Contract, the Door to Spirit kind of reveals, like, if he is a senior dog, you know, that just kind of shows me, like, I don't know how else to say it, like, you know, his time of passing, not that I'm not saying it's near, but I'm like saying, I feel like the energy of that reveals that he's a senior dog. And so things that he can be experiencing could be due to his age. I hope I said that as graceful as I could. I'm not saying he's going to die right now, but like based on the cards, it kind of just shows like he's older. He's up there. He's energetically up there. The thinking man, to me kind of says like maybe you have the tendency of thinking and overthinking situations before you take action. So I would kind of, you know, if you find yourself like, oh, I'm looking for another sign of him not feeling good before I make the vet appointment. And it could simply be because of finances, which I totally understand. Vets, you know, sometimes they could be quite expensive. But you also have to think of it in terms of for yourself. If you weren't feeling well, you would go to the doctor. So to me, it's the same thing for fur babies. Like if they're not feeling well, it's our responsibility to take them to the doctor. Okay. We have 4 of Pentacles, we have 4 of Swords, and we have the Moon card, which is the shadow. I would say like, I would take him to the vet, my love. I would take him to the vet, get him checked out. The cards just kind of show like he's kept to himself. He's not as motivated. The 4 of Swords can show maybe he has fatigue. He doesn't feel good. His vibe is down. It's low. You know, he just wants to be left alone. And then the Moon card is like the shadow and stuff. It's fears. So there could be something bugging him and it's causing him to have, you know, anxiety, or he just feels mixed up and he doesn't really know he doesn't know what's going on with his mind, him being Caleb. And so he just feels that anybody coming in his space is a threat. And so we have the universe. I definitely feel like we have the solar plexus chakra, which is the stomach. So like I said, it could be something internal. And then we also have love begins. So show him love. Show him love. Try to show him the same kind of love and treatment as you do give the other dog. Get him a vet appointment. Just have them check him up. Tell them how, you know, the symptoms you've been seeing with him. And if you notice things are different with his poops or the way he pees, or when you're feeling him, when you're touching him, is he, you know, irritated? Make sure you take note of all of that stuff, but definitely make an appointment. And I will share with you what my vet told me about the cats, is that you could pay for pet insurance, but sometimes it's kind of like you'll go a whole year with never taking the cats or the dog to the vet. And then you'll have that 1 year where you're like there every other month. And I went through that with Luna. So the doctor or the vet told me basically, just like when you set money aside into your savings account for yourself or whatever, out of every paycheck, put $10, $20 if you can, in your savings specifically for the pets. Because you never know when something might pop up. You never know when they're gonna get sick or whatever. And if you already have a little bit of a savings built, you will be more motivated to take them to get a yearly checkup. Even if they look fine to you, but you'll be more motivated to take them to the doctor for a checkup if you know you have that money in the savings. So that's my little tip to you. I love my fur babies. So I'm just hoping that Caleb, you know, I hope that he's 100% in everything. But I do feel like if you're noticing his temperament is different and he wasn't always like that with the other dog, this is definitely a sign that there could be something bugging him. It could be something minor. Maybe he has a tangle in his fur and it's hurting him, but that's why like touching him and feeling him and making sure everything's good is important. Or it could be something major, like a little bit more major, like maybe he has a UTI, or maybe he ate something that isn't agreeing with him and he can't pass it through, you know? So get him checked out, my love. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Thank you so much for allowing me to connect with you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, love.